Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name's FM18 and you're watching the Dafuge Challenge, episode 88, with Enfield Town FC. Well, I wish I could say our form's improved, but it really hasn't. Plus, we've had a couple injuries as well that have kind of held us back. After Burnley shut us out, we were home against Norwich, and Deacon O'Leary could not be stopped. A hat trick's worth of goals, 15th, 68th, and the final nail in the coffin in the 70th minute. Callum Williams had a goal right before the first half ended. Hank Kramer had a 31st minute goal, then Rivero finally got off the goal scoring schneid and scored right after Callum Williams did at the end of the first half, and then had an 88th minute goal to make the game look closer than it actually was. We had 9 shots, 7 on target. Norwich had 18 shots, 8 on target. They won freaking 90% of their tackles, which I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, we could not put anything together. After Norwich, we were away at Leeds United, and we were just awful. I mean, it was one of those games where, McNally had a horrible game. Matthew West had a hat trick for Leeds United. Calvin Phillips had a 30th minute penalty kick goal, and then he missed one in the 93rd minute that Ward made a really nice save on. Kramer's goal in the 23rd minute was nice, but it just wasn't enough. 10 shots, 2 on target, 5 off target for us. Only 1 clear-cut chance. Too many long shots. We had 5 long shots. And it was a horrible game. So, of course, we went to Sheffield United and drew against them. Rivero had a 41st minute goal. Will Perry equalized in the 62nd minute for Sheffield United. They were on the attack all game. The defense turned in an okay effort, as you can see, and the guys up front were okay as well. I'm not going to say we were better than Sheffield United because they had a lot more shots and a lot more on target than we did. They had their chances. We were just good when we needed to be, plus we had a decent amount of luck at the end of the game as well. After the Sheffield United game, we had an off weekend, and I scheduled a friendly with FC Kaiserslautern of the German 2 Bundesliga. It's actually a team I'm really familiar with. I've seen a couple of their games when my dad was stationed over there. I was hoping for a larger crowd, and didn't really get it. Didn't make any money on this, didn't lose any money on this, but 2-2 draw. Kremer, Gardner, and Durante were all out on international duty. Skip had a 4th minute goal. Rivero had an 87th minute goal. Then, of course, Phil Colwell hurt his knee and was out 4 to 6 weeks in this game. Kruger and Stiller had goals for Kaiserslautern. We were okay, 16 shots, 6 on target. No clear-cut chances, though. Decent possession advantage. For a team that's probably a little bit better than we are, a draw is okay. And then we went to play top-of-the-table Wolves, and we got absolutely thrashed, 4-0. Dean McAllister had a hat trick, goals in the 8th, 35th, and 81st minute. Sergei Ribeiro had a 46-minute goal. Tom Gardner got double yellowed in the 4th and 53rd minute, and then was upset when I fined him for a week for getting sent off. He didn't feel it was deserved. And as you can see from the shots, Wolves was on the attack all game. They had 18 shots the first half. We had 1. They could have gotten more. They probably should have gotten more. Everybody was just horrible. And I'm surprised they didn't score more after Gardner got sent off. This game was bad. The sooner I can forget about it, the better. We were then at home against Derby County, and for whatever reason, we had a really good game. I wish I knew why. Derby County's a mid-table team. They're not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. They were today, though. All these long shots, especially these 3 here that they're counting as shots. I'm not quite sure why. We had 15 shots, 8 on target. We had 3 woodwork hits, in addition to 3 clear-cut chances. Tom O'Hare had a 21st minute goal. Ian McNally a 24th minute goal. Kramer had a 53rd minute goal, and then Dylan Mackin had an 82nd minute goal. This was a good performance for us. I wish we had more of them. And then we were away at Aston Villa, who are in a relegation fight. They had a man sent off in the 88th minute, and they still won 3-2. Rivero missed a 72nd minute penalty kick that would have tied it up. He hit it, the goalie made a great save, he followed it up, and the goalie made another great save. As it was, Levi Morphew had a 13th minute goal, Rob Webb a 78th minute goal, and Duncan Greenwood an 86th minute goal for Villa. Rivero had a 29th minute goal, Skip had an 89th minute goal. We should have done better than this. Villa had 18 shots, 7 on target. We had 12 shots, 5 on target. We had our chances, we just couldn't put it together. And this seems to be a season of we're close, but not close enough more often than not. So that currently leaves us mid-table. We are in 12th position on 18 points, a -5 goal differential, 5 wins, 3 draws, 6 losses. Stankovic hurt his ankle in the Burnley match, and then a month later when he was getting match fit, he twisted the other ankle. So he's been out for almost 8 weeks. I did let Barry Cousins and Graham Houghton go out on loan. As a result of the Stankovic injury, I went to the free agents I had scouted, and Nigel Wilson was still available. At one point in time, I seriously considered bringing him in earlier in the season, but then I don't play attacking mids that often, and he is a really good attacking midfielder. 3.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential ability, 22 years old. Decent physicals, good mentals where they count, good technicals where they count. The marking is a little bit of a letdown, but with a couple of other additions that I made, in particular signing Lentil as well, I've added a couple of new formations. One is the 4-4-2 diamond, and the other's a 4-3-1-2. I was fiddling around with some earlier tactics, but I needed to put this one back in. Ignore the positioning on this, that's going to change. The past few games, we're moving the ball really well. The positioning of the guys in the midfield is a lot better. They're not crowding on top of each other. They're actually spreading out. Lentil is a very good DM, and it shows. So I think what I will be doing is playing this until Stankovic gets healthy. And then I can play the 4-3-3, move Lentil up, and Wilson can play striker. He's actually a fairly decent false 9, and I can keep rotating players out. That plan briefs well, but we'll see what happens. So today we are playing Sheffield Wednesday and then Reading away. So I am going to set up my best 11 for the Sheffield Wednesday game, and we will be back with that match in just a bit. Well, today, hosting Sheffield Wednesday, we are playing our 4-4-2 diamond with Ward in goal, Gardner, McNally, Durante, and Jones as the defensive back four, Lentil behind O'Hare and Collins, Wilson up top is the attacking mid behind Kramer and Rivero. Sheffield Wednesday is playing a 4-2-3-1, Archer in goal, Borthwick, Jackson, White, Dahlgren, and Elliott as the defensive back four, Booty and Jenkinson as the midfielders, Barnes, Egan, and Benson as the attacking mids behind Tulloch up top as the strikers. And we are moving left to right. Elliott with the throw in, Egan to Tulloch, and Ward with a nice save. Well, coming up on a half hour, not a lot of action going on. We've had one shot. Sheffield Wednesday's had 4. Hopefully this won't be one of those games where all we have is one highlight, then halftime, then one highlight, then halftime, or then end of game. That'd be, well, it'd make for a shorter episode, but it's certainly not any fun to listen to or watch. Durante kicks the ball up, but Jenkins recovers it. Tulloch to Booty, over to Barnes. Skirts the defense, crosses it in, and Benson's there. Well, I got my wish. I got a highlight, didn't I? Coming up on halftime. Just not putting anything together. Moving right to left now. Coming up on 60 minutes. Jones to Rivero to Wilson. Back to Jones. To Collins to O'Hare. Wilson loses the ball. White intercepts it. Long pass. Tulloch runs by the defender. Ward with a nice save. Well, Skip is going to come on and replace Collins. Mackin is going to come on and replace Rivera, who's just not having a good game. We had one shot the entire second half. Can we get the draw? We're not going to get anything out of this game, are we? Good grief. 4 shots, none on target. 1 shot the entire second half. Oh, last chance. Kremer to Mackin, and his shot is wide right. Mackin again to Gardner. Come on, guys. And he's dispossessed. Throw in. O'Hare, Lentil to Gardner. Back to O'Hare. Intercepted. Kremer has it. Now Skip. And he was off. Kremer was offsides. And this should be the game. Well, to be fair, they're second in the league. I guess holding them to a goal is okay, but you can only dress that up so much. That was just... You know, we're going to come back for the Reading game. I'll set my best 11 for that, and we will be back with that game in just a bit. Well, today away at Reading, they are playing a 4-4-1-1. Morton in goal, Keita, Henry, Carson, and Smith as the defensive back 4. Good Foley, Hallberg, Dalby, and Driver as the midfield 4. Jess is the attacking midfielder behind Charles up top as the striker. We are playing our 4-3-1-2 with Ward in goal, Gardner, McNally, Durante, and Jones as the defensive back 4. O'Hare, Skip, and Collins as the midfield 3. Wilson is the attacking midfielder behind Kramer and Rivero up top as the strikers. Ward with the goal kick. Rivero sends back to Collins, who sends it up to Wilson. Skip to O'Hare to Rivero. Off the post. He must have 1 or 2 of those a game. I think I have that set a little too fast. Now. Morton with the goal kick. Up to Henrique. To Carson. To Keita. Good Foley on the left. Passes to Jess. Taps up to Charles. Off the post. Kicked away. Good Foley recovers for Reading. He crosses it in again, but he goes into the side net. And we've both had 2 woodwork hits. Wilson with the ball. Now his pass is intercepted by Enrique. Good Foley. Up to Charles. Pass in space for Jess. And he hits the post. Good grief. Gardner. And the highlight ends. Now, Reading's been a little bit better in front of the goal. We've had more shots. And that is halftime. Skip to O'Hare to Wilson. Cross the field to Jones. Up to Rivero. To Wilson. Back to Rivero. On the right, cross it. He overran it. Dalby with a long pass up to Charles. And Jones just got sent off. I do not have another right back that can play. Sproul is literally on the roster because I need a homegrown player. Starting him would be a disaster. Bring Wilson off. Bring Frazier on to play fullback on the right. Hallberg out to good Foley. Charles over the net. Switch to the counter. Smith with the throw-in for Reading. Knocked away, but Kaida is there. Centers it to Oakley Booth. Out to Matondo. Drives the box. Charles is there, but his shot is high. O'Hara's going to come off. Barry's going to take his spot and then switch with Frazier. Frazier is a much better midfielder than he is a defensive right back. Barry's primarily a defensive center back, but he's right-footed and he's got more pieces of the pie than anyone else left. 10 minutes left. 4 minutes of extra time. Can we pull this out? Oh, nuts. Carson throwing to Jess. Out to Stevens at the top of the box to Hallberg. Kicked away by Barry. To Kremer. Now McNally sends it up to Frazier. Skip has it now. Up to Collins. Now it's banged back and forth. Now Charles has it for Reading. Long pass across field. Carson coming up on the 4-minute mark. That is the game. Good grief, did we ever escape with that? Now it looks like we got about exactly half the season left. So I think what we'll do is come back for Bradford City Preston. We'll come back for Ipswich Town, Bradford City, and then that'll set us up for whoever we're playing in the third round, and then probably West Ham. We should know by then who we're playing here. Now, it's a good thing we won those first 4 games, or we'd be up a creek.
Well, I do have to apologize for some of the background noise going on in this episode. I'm not quite sure what it is. Part of me wants to say it's the grinding of my teeth that the filter didn't catch, because this was one of those episodes. Part of me says it may be affiliated with the new air conditioning unit we have, but I've got a pretty decent filter and a pretty good noise canceling system. I use the VST plugins, and they've worked really well in the past, but for whatever reason this time they didn't catch what was going on, and I apologize for that. Losing to Sheffield Wednesday, there's no shame in that. They're the second best team in the league. Holding them to the 1 goal is really, really good. The fact that we were able to salvage a draw going a man down, that may be the one time the football gods smile on us this season. On the other hand, we've been healthier, so I'm hoping after the winter break we can get back to at least decent form. I really want to avoid the relegation fight this year, and we may just have to make some moves at the January transfer window to see what we can do with that. However, that's going to be tough because we don't really have a lot left in the budget. A little bit shorter episode this time around. The good thing about key highlights is if there's not a lot of highlights, it makes for a short game and easier editing. I do watch comprehensive highlights every once in a while offline, and every time I think, hey, this would be kind of fun to do, I tried it once and the episode ended up being like 44 minutes long, and that's about 20 minutes longer than I like. Hopefully though, our form picks up and we have more highlights in our favor going forward. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please do a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave them down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM Jellico. I thank you for watching.